A definition of organization. In today's session also we will discuss how it is evolved, how the final definition of organization, where we say it is not about the building or it is about head office, it is about the people. So how we reach to that definition, how we reach to that very brief and very core definition. That is something which is we can understand through a process of evolution. So today we have that part of syllabus. We have discussed different functions played by organization, characteristics of organization. We have seen some of them like division of labor, or different with authority and responsibility. The duties, responsibility, authority and relationship with each other. There are different people involved in organization, and we have said it's people who make organization. So in a formal organization, we have clearly defined duties, responsibility, authority, and relationship with each other in an organization. Okay, opposite will be informal organization. Okay, so we will see some of the examples of informal organization. But I hope you remember what is formal organization. We have seen some of the examples of formal organization. We have seen its characteristics. Why people go for a formal organization, or what kind of organization go for a formal organization. We have seen this with several examples. Okay. Advantages and disadvantages. This much we have covered in last session. So let's start today's session. So what do you understand by informal organization? Okay. See, I said whenever you are talking about a formal organization or whenever studying formal organization, imagine some big organization exactly different to that, or exactly opposite to that. When we are discussing about informal organization, imagine something which is a startup organization, or imagine something which is self-help group, like religious purpose. Okay, religious purpose started as a self-help group. Few women came together and they decided to start a business, and they started religious purpose. Now it's a multi-crore brand. Okay, but when it started, it was a self-help group. Or you must have seen about the small business which are done by few women from a rural area. So imagine such kind of organization to understand informal organization. So that if you go through that process, you don't have to memorize it. It will naturally come to you. Because of formal and informal organization. Okay. So let's start. What is informal organization? Not based on strict authority or fixed line of communication. Obviously. See, in a self-help group or in a newly started business, there is not a proper line or proper vertical or horizontal division between employees. Okay, there is no authority. Everybody is comparatively on a similar line. Okay, because everybody comes with some kind of advantage. Like somebody is bringing finance, somebody is bringing assets, somebody is having a knowledge, or somebody having a customer. So everybody comes with certain advantages. That's why there is no strict authority. Okay, nobody is hired. Everybody has joined. Okay, so it's a willful organization. Everybody comes with the similar terms. There is no written rules, but people come to they follow certain rules because they want to sustain. Obviously, we have discussed why informal organization is called organization, because here people came with a similar goal. They have certain goal and they want to achieve that goal. Like when finding a little topic. Okay, maybe that those women who have joined that time, maybe they want to just sustain themselves, or they want to contribute economically to their family members. Maybe that can be a goal. I don't know what was exactly goal, but mostly these are the common goals for self-help group. They want to stand independently. They want to make their own money. They don't want to ask their husband for a small amount, like 50 rupees, 100 rupees. So they want to stand on their own feet. So that can be a goal of those women who have started religious purpose. There are lots of self-help groups. You can see the stories of such successful stories on betterindia.com. You will get a lot of stories where women or even a male entrepreneur from a small village, how they started a business and how they reached to a certain level, which can be commendable. Okay, so these are some of the examples of informal organization. Like recently, we can take an example of an academy, which was a very small industry when it started, education industry. But now it is a unicorn industry. Unicorn industry, it's a very big industry. It has turned into a big industry. Multi-crore business. So you need to understand. In unacademic, there were four friends. One was IS, and somebody was good in IT, some was good in some other parameter. So the four friends came together. They started some revolutionary business, and today it has investment from every organization like Tata, Naranmurthy. You just name the angel investor, and they have invested in unacademic. So this is about informal action. Where people come together, they have a similar motive, but there is no authority, there is no responsibility, there is no departmentalization, there is completely decentralization. Okay, we will see what is departmentalization, decentralization, everything is there in today's lecture. Then just imagine something where you don't have a strict authority. Okay, gives importance to people and their relationship. Okay, they give more importance to people than function. Okay, the satisfaction of a people or job satisfaction is more important than getting a more customer. So normally they follow very ethical way of achieving a target. Okay, so people are important. Suppose somebody has not done their job, so they will not be fired. Like in a corporation, maybe they will be fired if they not achieve their quantity parameter. But here in informal organization, maybe people are more important than their achievements. Since there is no authority, so people don't have authority to remove somebody else. That is the core reason of giving more importance to people. Characteristics of informal organization. I hope you can imagine the informal organization. It is a social structure formed to meet personal need. We have already discussed. It is a social structure. It is not just economic structure. It is a social structure. People are not here just to make money, but it is about social structure, right? No one. Why most of the self-help economically marginalized? Okay. So there is a step to change this social structure, where male will be economical dominant and female will be subordinate. So they want to bring a change. That's why they want to bring a change in that social structure, where it is all its attitude also predestined that woman will go into household work and male will go into economic activity. So they want to change the social structure and to meet their personal needs. Obviously, personal needs, they also have some, they also deserve some respect. They also deserve some economic independence. That's why there is a personal need. So most of you or many of you may be having an interest in starting their own entrepreneur business. Okay, they want to be entrepreneur in future. They want to start their own business. So obviously you can think about something in context of informal organization. How can you develop informal organization? How can you bring women who have a similar motive, or they have a similar need, or they also want to achieve a similar goal? Maybe you can start thinking that way and you can start your own organization. Rules are not in written form but commonly followed, obviously, because everybody is internally motivated to achieve the goals. That's why they will follow particularly. Okay. No structure, obviously there is no vertical, no horizontal line of division. Mostly everybody is on similar line. Okay. There is no strict authority divided like we have seen in formal organization. There is strict authority. You cannot go beyond that bracket. But here you don't have a boundary. You can go maybe somebody who is doing the marketing job, we can enter into accounting or financing. There is an interchange between the functions as well. Because that freedom is given in informal organization. That's why it is called informal. Okay. Before moving to advantage of informal organization, so it is about informal organization. Advantages of informal organization. It gives satisfaction to workers. How it gives satisfaction to how it ensures that every employee of the organization is satisfied. Because obviously everybody is getting a platform to show their talent. Whereas in formal organization you have to go through various authority before you take any decision. Okay, there is a strict line of communication. You cannot go beyond that. If you have to take a permission, you have to take a permission. Okay, you cannot, irrespective of the situation, you cannot take a decision. You have to keep your superiors in view. But in informal organization, mostly people get that platform, that chance to show their innovation, to make a decision, and that gives actually a satisfaction. Why most of the employees today you see are not satisfied, or why they are alienated? Because human being is a creative animal, and if you are not getting a platform to show your creativity, you will feel suffocated, and you switch to other job, thinking that it will give you. After some time, you feel the same level of frustration. Okay, this is one of the big reasons for depression among the young working class, because they have a talent and they want to show that, but they are not able to. So if you want to again give a platform to the woman or the maid, whoever you want, they have a talent and they are not getting a platform, you can bring them together, okay, to show their talent and to get a satisfaction in their life. Useful channel of communication. Obviously, informal organization has a very useful channel of communication. People have a no foundation. They can speak whatever they want. They can suggest whatever they can. There is no formal communication, or there is no restrictions. You cannot speak in this way. You cannot talk about that way. Or being a marketing person, you cannot talk about sales team. Or being a sales team, you cannot talk about finance team. There is nothing like that. It's an open channel of communication. So obviously, you get a lot of suggestion. You get a lot of reality during a communication, rather than being just a formal communication. Okay, scope for innovation we have already discussed. Informal organization gives lot of scope for innovation. That's why you will see most of the scientists who work isolation. They don't have any authority. They don't have anybody to tell them what to do now. They have their own freedom, and they fortunately come with some innovation. Okay, disadvantage of informal organization. Obviously, there are advantages, there are some disadvantages as well. What are the disadvantages? Some of them are no unity of command. Okay, maybe one woman is working on some marketing parameter. She doesn't have a boss, so obviously everybody is trying to manipulate her. So everybody will start giving suggestions to him or command to him. So she will get confused whom to ask and whom to avoid, because obviously we have discussed there is no authority. So easily people may get hurt if they doesn't follow the directions. Okay, they will stop giving a direction if it doesn't follow. So there is no unity of command. Everybody will command you. Everybody will give a direction. Okay, so in this process, maybe a person get confused. So there must need a unity of command, which we have seen in formal organization. There is unity of command. Only your boss can give you command. No other person, irrespective of whatever his position, he cannot give you command. Only your boss will give you command. Provided, obviously, if some superior want to give you a command, obviously he will come through a proper channel. He will suggest to his subordinate, and his subordinate will suggest to you. Okay, so there is unity of command in formal organization, but in informal organization there is unity of command. May spread rumors. Obviously, we have seen it's open communication. It is very easy. It's very easy to spread rumors or to give a disinformation. So we have to be calculus when we are starting information, when we are working in information. Every information needs to be checked. Somebody saying that doesn't mean it's a truth. Where in formal organization, you are responsible for your words. Okay, everybody will count you. This is what you have suggested, this is false. But in informal communication, but there is less responsibility about what you say. So there are some disadvantages in informal organization and advantages in informal organization. But it's very good form of a business or form of organization if somebody wants to start their own business. Okay. Let's see some of the theories of organization. First of all, what is theories of organization? See, every organization can be built on different parameters. There can be different type of authority, there can be different type of responsibility, there can be different type of relationship between each other. So based on those different theories or based on different matching, we can see there are certain things, or you can say this is an evolution of formation of organization. How initially there were organization were formed, how they change with the time, and what is the current scenario. This is about the theories of organization. How organizations are formed, what are their core principles, how they decide relationship between each other, and how they divide authority. These are some of the parameters which we can mix here and there, and you can form the other organization. or the type of organization. Or you can create your own theory of organization. So we have some of the theories in our syllabus. We'll see what are those theories. Classical theory, obviously it's very old theory. F.R. Taylor, who was initially a father of scientific management, gave this theory of classical theory. He talked about how organization used to be made at that time of period. There were certain principles which were core to formation of organization. If these are the principles are there, we can call it organization. Okay, so what are those principles? Division of labor, obviously. The first principle, whenever F.R. Taylor comes, he will talk about division of labor because he thinks this is the most important scientific thing to develop efficiency, to develop productivity. So if there is a division of labor, there are different departments are involved in any organization, other person, days or week. But you cannot sustain even a day without having a salesperson. So maybe division of power can be given more to sales team compared to any other department. That is a possibility. So you can divide the power based on scalar line or constant basis. So this is about another principle which is, like I said, every organization must have. Then I talked about structure. It is a structure or it's a tool for creating a relationship among various functions which came up in the organization. Departments, there are different people working in an organization. So you can create a proper structure. Where, see, if you go to any organization or if you go to their head office, you will see organizational chart. So what is organizational chart or any new company, whenever a person enters into organization, during the induction program, he will get the organization chart. Organization chart, who is sitting at what place? Okay, or what is the line function or line organization of that particular organization. You will get that picture on the front, the first cabin wherever you enter in the head office. So structure is about creating a relationship among various departments or various functions. Okay, there are some of the characteristics about structure. When you make a structure, you have to know some of the things like specialization. So maybe every department is divided based on specialization of that particular department. Okay, somebody is marketing, sales, or some different. There are various ways of department is looking for then some other department is looking for So everybody is specialized. Somebody is specialized in nutrition, somebody is for painkiller because they both are OTC product. So there can be some kind of coordination or some kind of common check or communication check you can establish in structure. Span of control. Span of control is nothing but how many people or how many subordinates you can control. That is a span of control. How many people you can control, that is a span of control of a particular manager. Maybe a lower management will have a span of control of 4 people. So every manager who is working at so based on that you decide span of control. Sure. So some of the drawbacks of classical theory. See, if you have understood the theory properly, I don't have to teach you about advantages and disadvantages because that will naturally come to you. Actually, we should discuss these things. But okay, that will involve a lot of time. That's why we are going just to one-way communication. But if you have understood the theory, you can apply this theory as well as you can understand its advantages and disadvantages, and that is expected. You should think, you should brainstorm about advantages and disadvantages. When you will revise these theories, make sure after understanding the theory, write down some examples. Write down some examples about classical theory. Think about what can be its advantages, what can be its disadvantages. Write it down and just cross-check. Just cross-check with the notes. In one or other form, whatever you have mentioned is there in the notes or not. If not, you can add it. There is nothing wrong, adding something new to your notes. Maybe it's right or wrong, that is better, but at least you will get that capacity or you will get that approach, you will get that attitude towards forming something your own, rather than just working up notes. See, management is not about just a concepts or memorizing. It is about general management. It's about becoming a generalist. Given any topic, you should have something to talk about it, or you have something to give advice about it. Okay, that is about generalist. It's not about specialist. We are not going to be specialist. Nobody is going to ask you your graduation until unless it is not a specialized factor. Maybe you are going for some capital machineries. Maybe somebody will ask about your engineering background. But if you are going to some other thing, maybe people will not be concerned about your graduation. They are concerned about your specialization in during your MBA. Why? Because we are going to be generalist. We are going to give a general work. It's about the management. We are not going to into core activity. Okay, we are not going to manufacturing. What should be a size of particular nut and bolt. We are not going to that. We have nut and bolt. We have to either manage the finance to support that company, or we have to do a marketing, or we have to do a sales, or we have to do a logistics. See, we are not going to specialize. We are not going to manufacture. So maybe irrespective of whatever products we have, like when I was facing my first interview in GSK, my background was commerce background, and the company which I was going, it was a health wellness industry, okay, healthcare industry. They asked me, Kiran, you don't have any experience or knowledge about the science, about the body mechanism, and the product which you are going to sell is completely, science oriented. But obviously, the similar answer that every salesperson. So I don't care whether it is health product or it is something else. I just want to sell it. So I should know some of the USPs of the product. I should know my customer, and I should have the selling story. That's it. If I have enough product knowledge, if I know selling story, if I know my audience or my customer, definitely I can transfer that selling story to customer and will ensure that purchase will happen. So we are going to be more generalist. So rather than reading, I'm not saying reading is not important. Definitely reading is very important, at least at this particular stage, when you are just getting into a management. But more than that, spend some time on brainstorming or make some group activity. Make some group activity when you take any company or take anything whichever you have common interest, and just think about it, explore the new facts about that organization, discuss about those parameters, or you can go about anything. Even how to manage a present crisis of shortage of vaccine. You can discuss on that. Okay, how to manage, how can you divide different people, how can you give the best service to old age people, can we deliver a vaccine to their locality, whatever you want to discuss. Make sure you do or you spend some time on brainstorm. Just get feed by the available resources. You also introduce your own resources. That is how you can build a capability or approach towards a solution finder. Okay, I will spend the time on that. Okay, so some of the drawbacks of classical theory. Based on authoritarian approach, obviously we know that there is a subordinate and there is a boss. Obviously it is going to be authoritarian approach. Okay, like people will not accept your suggestion if you are subordinate to them. They will feel it's insult if they accept your suggestion, because if I am getting or I am taking suggestion from a subordinate, that means he is a more deserving person than I am, or I am here just because of my luck. So some kind of predispositions are there, or attitude is there. That's why people doesn't accept suggestions from their subordinate. But it is authoritarian approach. It do not give two-way communication. Most of the time it is a one-way communication. The communication flow from upper side to lower side. Okay. Very rarely it go from lower side to upper side. So that's why many companies make a mistake that doesn't take market feedback. Okay. They just make a policy based on the top management. And we have discussed this in our initial lecture when we were discussing about difference between planning commission and Niti Aayog. Okay, planning commission was where government used to make, or planning commission used to make a decision in an AC room, and that used to flow from that AC room to ground level. But now in Niti Aayog, every member of a state is involved in a decision making, and after decision making, or it is a meaningful decisions which are suggested by states. If these suggestions given by themselves, then obviously there is a more chances that they will follow it religiously. Okay, so this is a drawback of classical theory. In the old era, at that time maybe it was necessary, because people or their employees were not enough educated to give a suggestion to organization. But now scenario is completely changed. So definitely there needs a two-way communication. Neglects the importance of two-way communication. That we have discussed. Now next is a neoclassical theory. Okay. When they have seen there are certain drawbacks, see it is developed with the time. As the time change, labor change, work change, the market change, obviously you have to come with something new. So they have seen the classical theory is not giving a desired result. Okay. So obviously there needs some new theory. So they then when they realized that there is a need for some new theory, they came with a neoclassical theory to cover up or to overcome the disadvantage of classical theory, that was two-way communication, giving less importance or authoritative structure. To overcome these things, new classical theory came into picture. Individual should be the basis of organization. So rather than giving importance to position or importance to organization or importance to only organization, they have started giving importance to individuals. Okay, they have established the relationship between individual and organization. Employees should be allowed to participate in defining work status and decision making. Initially, as we said in a classical theory, only management or a top management used to take a decision and that used to flow to lower management. But now, in new classical theory, they are saying involve your people, make sure they participate in decision making or standardization of work. That will introduce or that will give ownership of their work among the employees. And if they take ownership, obviously there is a high chances that they will perform with their 100% capacity. If somebody forcefully tell you to do this job, maybe you will do it for one time or two time. Okay. But when it is internalized and you realize the importance of doing this thing. After doing this thing, obviously my organization is going to make a profit. At the same time, I will also get a profit. So this is something where you merge organization goal and individual goal. That gives a higher productivity, that gives more job satisfaction, and that gives a lesser alienation among employees. Okay, and obviously we have discussed individual. The new classical theory focused on individual. They have understood, they have set certain parameters. What are the qualities we need to hire a person at particular level, a particular department? Okay, so they have focused on individual capacity, individual skills as well as. Okay, now people need a multiple skills. You cannot just be specialized in one thing. That's why you will see MBAs are in more demand. Why? Because they are generalists. They possess a basket of skills. They are not specialized in one activity. They are specialized, maybe they are not specialized, but they are aware about different department and different activity, different skills. That's why MBAs are in more demand. Compared to the even engineers, after a B, they prefer to go for MBA rather than going for a B. Why? Because they have understood. The MBAs have a more demand because they have multiple skills. And even during this journey of a 2 year, make sure you are also develop multiple skills. Don't just focus on one thing. You also have to go for marketing. You should also have knowledge of finance. You should also have knowledge of account. You should have knowledge about logistics. Different department. Okay, about FMCG, about government, about private. Okay, about healthcare. Anything. You should have awareness about different departments, different skills. That's how you develop that personality. Okay. If you are not going through any newspaper, make sure you read some newspaper regularly. Okay, that is how you get aware about the market rate. Okay, the demand of your customer, the demand of audience. Maybe that is how you can come out with your own product. Maybe, and that should be the ultimate aim, to be an entrepreneur. Okay, this is a modern thing which is recently developed after 1950s. Okay, when you have that modern era of LPG, globalization, privatization, globalization, economic changes, where the entire world has become a global village. Okay, you can order anything from anywhere. Okay, now you don't have to think about the boundaries. At least in economic activity. Maybe people have a border whenever it is about emotion, it is about culture. But whenever it is about economic, it doesn't have a border. Even today, after having so much hatred about the Pakistan, or Pakistan has so much hatred about India, economic activities are very small. Right? Because economic activity doesn't have a border. Even many diplomats suggest that India Pakistan want to develop their relation, they should involve more in economic activity. There should be people to people tie-up. Okay, small industry should be given opportunity to trade with Pakistan. Pakistan should give an opportunity to trade with Indians. So that is how it will lead to more economic activity. Their actors are coming here, our actors are going there. So this is what? This is about economic activity. Ensuring that cultural patch-up with the help of economic activity. So modern theory focused more on giving a freedom to employee to organize. Okay. So interaction among individuals. So obviously modern theory will develop some models where every person should be able to interact with other person as well as with organization. What I mean by this? See, just take an example of today's WhatsApp group. What are WhatsApp group? They are actually ensuring that every individual gets the opportunity to interact more with the organization as well as individual. The employee who is working at a very lower level will also be part of some or other WhatsApp group. So he will be able to discuss not only with his boss, but even with super boss or maybe with the MD. Ultimately, the communication, if something is very good, that will ultimately go to the higher level. So this is interaction between individual with his boss, with his colleague, and with his seniors, even with the management team. So modern theory believes more in open communication. There should be open channel for communication. Okay, this is once Ambedkar also suggested. There needs a more point of communication to get away with the caste system. Okay. Similarly, modern theory is also talking about open communication. If there is open communication, people will be able to tell their own problems. People will be able to suggest some new solutions. People will take ownership of their own act. And this is how you can solve many problems. Even if tomorrow you join any company or you start your own company, whatever is the case, make sure you start some open communication. You should give enough opportunity to your subordinates, to your colleagues to openly communicate what they feel. Obviously, there are certain disadvantages associated with it, but you can overcome those disadvantages. But you cannot just neglect these things because of some of the disadvantages. Okay, so modern theory believes in open communication. There should be interaction among individuals, interaction between individual and the environment. Environment, what I mean by environment is entire organization. Based on system analysis, obviously there is a proper system. You can write your mail or you can write to organization whatever you feel. So this is about modern theory. But in classical theory, you had a certain barriers. You cannot communicate with directly or supervisor. You have to go through a boss. So based on system analysis, they have analyzed that those people who are directly interacting with the customer, they have more knowledge about the demand of the particular product, or the demand of the customer, demand of the particular market. For example, we have already discussed this thing. दो गज दूरी मास्क का जरूरी. See, this is a statement given by Gram Panchayats, which our Prime Minister said. This is given by Gram Panchayats because they have realized maintaining social distance is a difficult word to understand this group. So what we have to do? We have to come with a certain we have to come with certain words which are easily understood by a normal people. Okay, so this is about taking opinion. This is about giving open communication. These are the benefits of involving people in decision making. Concentrate on both quantitative as well as behavioral science. What do you mean by concentrate on both quantitative and behavioral science? See, in classical theory, you are promoted or you are praised based on what is your quantitative achievement. How much growth you have given to a particular department, whether it's in manufacturing, whether it's in sales, or whether it's in any other department. What is your quantitative achievement, or what is the growth you have given to organization that decides your position in the organization, or that decides your capability in the organization. That's modern theory not only believes in quantitative theory, but they also believe in behavioral science. See, neoclassical gave more focus on behavioral science, individual, and whereas classical theory gave more focus on quantitative achievement. But modern theory merged this quantitative as behavioral science and made computer a new model. Merge quantitative and behavioral science. Obviously, we will at the end of the year, while we are revising your achievements, obviously we will see how much you have achieved on quantitative parameter, like product growth, market share, or some other profit, or whatever you can have a parameter in a quantitative sense, which can be measured. Quantitative, which can be easily measured, precisely measured. So obviously, achievements can be quantitative achievements can be precisely measured. So this is a one parameter for a yearly appraisal, but we will also consider behavioral science. Behavioral science, what individual is feeling, how much satisfied he is with his work, how much inputs he is giving. Maybe some person is not giving a quantitative growth, but he is giving more motivation to his subordinates, or his team is very motivated. So this is a behavioral science. You want to retain such employees. Every employee is not, maybe giving a quantitative growth. Maybe some of them are giving a quantitative growth, but you need both to grow as an organization. So modern theory has included both the parameters before deciding appraisal or while hiring employees. We need both quantitative as well as behavioral science. Like some employers giving, you got a resume, and we have seen that person has given a very good quantitative growth in last organization, but he switched organization after every year. So maybe he will think about behavioral science. But there is another person who has not given equal growth, but he is consistent with the organization. He is there in the organization for past 10 years. So he will come to know his loyalty about the organization and his behavior about sticking to organization. Okay, if particular organization has a problem, every other organization will also have a problem. So just a removing operation or changing the organization will not solve the problem. You have to go to the core of the problem and you have to solve it. That is the only thing which keep you in a particular considerable time period. Otherwise, people switch their job every year because they feel other organizations may be having a better atmosphere than this thing. Okay, for some monetary. So there are different parameters or there are different things you can calculate based on their CV or their continuation of work in a particular organization. So modern theory has said, don't focus only on quantitative parameters or behavioral science. Merge them, consider both quantitative and behavioral science. That is what suggested model. Based on empirical research. Empirical research is obviously something which is not said by somebody without doing any research. It is based on empirical research which can be seen equally or similarly by everyone else. Okay, it is empirically proven. That means the truth is there. It is tested on multiple organizations, it is tested on multiple people, and it is done by multiple people. Not by just one researcher, but multiple researchers have done it and they found a similar result. So empirical researches which is seen or experienced similar by every researcher or every person, that is empirical research. So you can say it is either empirical research or you can say it is a time tested. These methods are based on time tested. That's why modern organizations have applied this model thing. Maybe tomorrow we will have some new thing. As time period is changing, obviously it is going to be there. It is bound to be there. Bound to be come up with some development in the existing theories. So obviously, but not for this period we have only some of the theories which are there. Motivation theory. It is not actually a theory. This is just a part of what we have discussed the last three theories. Motivation theory. See, in every organization there are two kinds of people. This will be seen in human resource management, but now just for introduction. Type X and type Y people. Every employee is not motivated just on a monetary basis. There are some people who are motivated even on non-monetary basis. Like there is person X and there is person Y. X will complete the work, it will give him some kind of incentive, monetary incentive to achieve this particular number. If you achieve 100 crores within 1 year, you will get this much incentive. Maybe that will motivate type X people and he will work hard to achieve that 100 crores. But there is some Y person. If you give him that same offer, maybe he is not fully motivated. He will be motivated by some other activity, right? if we achieve this 100 crore number, we will give you this position, or we will give you a new responsibility. Okay, or we will give you a headquarter which you want. Suppose you want to work in US, okay, we will give you opportunity to work in US. Okay, where monetary benefit is similar. There will not be any increment, there will not be any incentive. The only thing is you will get what you want in non-monetary terms. Okay, so before giving a motivation, you should understand what kind of person he is or she is. Okay, so if you understood the personality of that person, you will be in a better position to motivate that person. Because if you are motivating type Y person by giving her more and more monetary benefit, maybe it will not work. But if you give him some other opportunities which he is looking for, she is looking for, maybe that person will work much better than type X person. Okay, so we have some other theories which will be seen in the future, but just to introduce Maslow's hierarchy of need. Maslow says there are different needs that person has in his lifetime. Like somebody is looking for basic shelter, their basic needs, shelter, food. So these are the basic needs. Then maybe you are going for security, then you are going for a social recognition, then you go for social recognition, then you finally go for self-actualization. So you have to see where people stand. If he is just able to manage his basic needs, give him some security. Okay, if he is already having a basic needs, he is having a security, he is having enough property, give him a social recognition. Okay, give him social recognition. If he is having a social recognition also, then make sure that he go for self-actualization. Okay, self-actualization stage when you try to find out why I am here. Okay, is there any purpose of my life? That is very extreme stage. Where Swami Vivekananda, people like other sense went to that level. So even you have to understand where your employee is standing. Whether he is struggling just to ask him the basic needs, like his salary is not enough to find a patch his basic needs, like roti ka paratha. Okay, so this is how you have to point out different areas of motivation. Don't worry, we have a motivation theory in detail. In HR, you will see how to motivate people and what are the different ways you can motivate people. Decision theory, this is given by Albert Steiner, very big thinker, management theory. Albert Steiner has talked about decision theory. He regarded organizational structure of decision makers. See, there are different departments, there are different levels, there are different hierarchies where you can give the power. Okay, so every department is allocated with a certain kind of power to make a decision. This is about decision theory. So if in an organization, you can define your organization based on who is taking what powers. Okay, maybe you are sitting at a very higher position, but like in today's scenario, let's take an example. You are a board of management. Okay, in a particular hospital, but to whom to give a bed is a decision taken by the person who is operating at that particular level. So even after being a board member, you cannot take a decision and you cannot give a bed to a particular person because that authority or that power is given to somebody else. So you can define the organization based on who is taking what decision or who is responsible for taking a particular kind of decision. So this is a point of decision. Some decisions may be taken by higher management, some decisions may be taken by middle level management, some decisions are taken by lower level management. So what are the decisions taken by particular management, a particular level of management decides that particular organization, what kind of organization it is. So these were some of the theories. Last two theories are just a part of the first three theories, but these are very important to understand how the organizations are ultimately formed. So now see the type of organization. There are three types of organization: line organization, staff or functional organization, and line and functional organization. So the name itself says line organization. If you can see in the image what is a line organization, you can see president, vice president, plant manager, foreman, worker. So you can see the responsibility, authority, and relationship among each other is vertically divided. You can see it is completely a line, a horizontal line, sorry, a vertical and horizontal line. Then you can see a particular line is decided, which decides their authority, their responsibility, their decision making capability. So this is about line organization. Some of the characteristics consist of vertical relationship. Obviously, everybody have their boss, everybody have their unity of command, everybody will have span of control. Authorities flow from top to bottom level. Department heads given a full freedom to control their departments. See, even it is about the line information, but there are some departments like foreman A worker, foreman C worker. Suppose this is a particular department, so that particular department has given a clear authority to take a decision about that particular department. Okay, a sales chief can decide about whom they want to hire, whom they want to fire. Okay, what kind of people they want to launch. So sales chief, or the way they want to sell particular product, or whether they want to introduce this particular product into some new customer or some new category, that is completely their decision. So line organization gives a complete freedom, a full freedom to department heads for their particular department. This is about line organization. So what is the advantage of line organization? Obviously it is simplicity. Everybody knows who is their boss or who can give them a order. So this is about the simplicity. It is easy to establish, it is easy to understand who is heading and who is subordinate to the particular person. Division of authority and control. Obviously, in line organization you can easily see who is given a particular authority and who is controlling the other person. Unity of control. Obviously, there is single unity of control. Discipline. Since nobody can cross a particular channel of communication, there will be a complete discipline. Okay, there is a boundary. How much you can do or where you can go. Flexibility is also there. A particular department can take their own decisions. So it is at the same time giving a flexibility as well as it is ensuring discipline by drawing a boundary. Direct communication, yes, you can directly communicate with your boss and your boss can communicate to upper management. So there is a direct communication. Coordination, every department, there is a coordination between different people, different individuals or different posts with each other. So these are some of the advantages of line organization. Disadvantage of line organization, lack of specialization. Obviously everybody is working in a similar line. So there is no separate departmentalization. Okay, maybe HR is getting a guidance or HR is giving a direction from president who has done specialization in marketing. Okay, so there is lack of specialization. Okay, this is HR and marketing is still okay. But suppose if somebody is working in a manufacturing some particular kind of mechanical tool and it is getting audited, that's why he's sitting there. But I'm just saying, there can be a chance of lack of specialization. Lack of initiative. Obviously, in line organization, everybody knows their duty and they will just talk of their duties. They will not take any initiative from their side. They need some kind of command, then only they will take initiative. So it works as a hindrance for innovation. Dictatorial, obviously everybody wants to show their authority, everybody wants to enjoy their position. So it may lead to some kind of dictatorial kind of organization that doesn't respect their submissions given by subordinates. Okay. Scope of favoritism, obviously those people who will those people who favor their boss or those who talk good about their boss may get a favoritism, nepotism, or some kind of favor, like giving a faster promotion, better appraisal, better economic growth. So maybe there is a chances in a line organization that people will favor because there is authority. There is authority, there is a power to manipulate your career growth. If they have that power, obviously the person is going to favor that person. Okay, it's natural. Dependency thing. Dependence of the growth. On whom we are dependent, obviously we are going to give more respect to those people. That's why normally at a younger age or at the kids, they are respected both to their parents, but once they become a parent or their parents become the elderly people and they are not economically earning, they get a lesser respect in family. That is we call a dependency. Instability, obviously people switch, their alteration rate is very high, people easily switch jobs, and there is instability. People doesn't take ownership in organization. So that many times leads to instability in organization. There is a dependence on that particular line. If that line breaks or the person, if the key person leaves the organization, it creates chaos in that organization. Like if I have to tell you some example, like that line almost had instability. Like recently, a CEO of Himalaya has switched his job to better. So while he was switching, he went to Biotic, that is cosmetic company, he went to Biotic. And when he went to Biotic, obviously, he had no functional organization or staff organization, like we have seen, line organization, now it is about functional organization. So every department or every staff is divided, like administrative staff, HR staff, financial staff. So this is how departmentalization, based on their functions, we divide the organization. This is functional organization or staff organization. So there are certain advantages of staff organization, like specialization is mentioned. We have discussed in line organization that there is no scope for specialization. But in functional organization, everybody has a specialized staff, and the head is also specialized in that particular activity. So that leads to better coordination among that particular staff, and that particular staff has the autonomy to work on their specialized area. So this is about staff organization, functional organization. We will have allocated person for particular function. Particular, like if you want to inquire about your pension, there will be a separate person who has enough knowledge about the pension. If you want to discuss, if you want to inquire about your medical policy, there will be a separate person in that organization who will look for Medicare. So this will come under HR. Okay. So there are staff for different functions. That gives a clarity of role, that leads to better coordination, and immediately every employee will know whom I have to contact for the future. Okay, that faster, that gives impetus, that increase your pace of communication. Line and staff organization, obviously you can overcome the disadvantage of individual. Okay, in line and staff organization, you will have a line as well as staff. Okay, so here you ensure that the staff or a person with a particular capability, particular skills will be allocated a particular role in that line. That will ensure specialization as well as faster communication, as well as that gives a better job satisfaction among workers, because they are working on particular role where they have the skills. Okay, so this is, you can say, mostly followed organization in contemporary scenario, where most of the organizations have a line and staff organization to manage their daily affairs. People are appointed based on their capability. There is a special bunch of people who have a special skills to handle a particular activity, as well as there are generalists. Who can coordinate with different departments. Okay. Maybe a person who is in research, maybe having a doctor profile,